like Lilo Vanders was a tranny like presenter. They used to. It was like Eurotrash.
Oh, okay.
So they used to talk about like BDSM clubs and sex clubs in different cities.
You have to think about that and get it in the right order.
Yeah. So
anyway, those SMBD clubs.
Yeah. So and then like so there was always about porn, and then there was always like a kind of softcore porno afterwards.
All right.
You got to see like a bit of booty, a bit of rest.
Well, British TV wasn't too bad on Friday nights in general.
Yeah, but because I used to have this knack where I could watch the first 5 minutes of film, and I knew that I would see tits.
Right. Oh yeah.
And then,
I think all teenage boys have that.
Yeah, that kind of radar.
Yeah, you just know. Oh, hang on, there's a film on tonight. It's after 10. It has subtitles. It's gonna even if it's about the Holocaust. There'll be
Sunday nights on BBC Two. Sometimes you used to get like quite a random movie on, but it used to be really late at night though.
Right.
So, but yeah, the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes actually.
That's all you need, isn't it?
If you're the tease.
If you're primed and ready to go.
But now they have that kind of babe station and now.
For me, growing up, it was quite different. It's back in Iceland. Back then, there was one channel that would have erotic movies at all at any point, and it would be only on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. And they would show like 1 or 2 movies. Usually, would start around midnight. But it's a paid for channel. So
okay. Well, like a Manuel or something like that, or like that kind of softcore.
Actually, porn, at least at the time, I'm not even sure now. I think it's still like that. Porn is, strictly speaking, illegal.
Is it still in Iceland?
I think so still.
All right.
But it's like adult shops sell porn. They just label it as erotica, even though it's fully hardcore. It's not porn, it's erotica.
But do they need a license to sell it?
I mean, probably, but even then, they label it as erotica and nobody really cares. It's just, what they do.
Well, that's a perfect lead-in, because here we are, Clive and Chums.
In recording then?
Hinodecho, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Alright.
Jeez. Yeah.
Don't worry, I made sure you didn't say anything criminal or incriminating. It's only what people would expect of you, so you're alright. Anyway, you can listen to it back and then.
In fact, it was rather tame.
As long as you don't tag me.
No. Well, no, you get to choose your own Clive's chum name. So how about Smedlington Smythe the Third?
Can I not just be Clive's chum's
mate? No. You got to have a Smeddy, Smedlington Smythe. I think suits you. You have that aristocratic air about you. Yeah, Smeddy.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot already.
Like Eddie.
And how about you, chum number 2?
I don't know.
Do you want to just be your own name?
Do you have any ideas?
Brahe.
Oh, that's a good code name. No one will be any worse.
No.
Wow.
So we've been to the theatre again today, haven't we, chums? In Hinodecho. And we watched another 3 slices of Japanese softcore filth. And we're going to talk very briefly about them because we didn't really know what the fuck was going on in most of them. Because Hinodecho turns out to be probably the most active of the 3 existing Tohoku Pink theatres in terms of action in the stalls, right? There was a lot of...
For sure, yes.
I mean, I guess it's my first experience.
Oh yeah, it's Brahe's first trip to one of these theatres.
I was expecting probably nothing going on since it's Thursday night and like down here, but fucking hell.
Yeah.
It was lively.
It was. Even a bit of
least.
I think there was even a proper bit of sex going on.
I believe so at the front, yes.
Well, not that you saw any.
No, of course not.
The aftermath.
Yeah, so and Brahe even got propositioned, a dodgy old man in a check shirt. Tried to touch him a couple of times.
Indeed.
Brahe pretended not to like him because he's a bit of a flirt like that.
actually spoke with him briefly. I pretended that I was on the phone with Eddie, but
got his line.
yes.
So the first of the films we watched, which is the one I wanted to see, was we saw it as a re-release title, Hong Kong Kara Kita Ona Sugo Sugiru Kaikan, which I guess is Woman from Hong Kong, Too Much Pleasure. But the original title...
That's a misleading title.
Oh, it is. They all are, really.
But like that one especially because...
You wait till we get to the last one of the title that one was. Kind of. Anyway, but the original title came out as Beiju Hua Imono, which I don't actually know. I don't know what Imono means. Imono. Any idea?
No.
I don't have a clue. But I think it must be the actress's name, because the woman in it
Probably.
is an actress, Pei Zhu Hua.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a coincidence. And a Hong Kong actress. I think this is the only film she made in Japan. After a handful of, I looked her up. She didn't seem to be like to have a film named after you. I was thinking you must have been a big deal at the time, but I couldn't find anything out.
Is it a 70s movie or
80s, 89.
80s? Okay.
Yeah, just came out.
I thought it was a bit earlier than that. That's how much the quality was, though.
Right, and this one was again we're not sure, but I think it was Pei Hua played a woman who came from Hong Kong to help the Vice Squad find someone dear to her, and then a lot of kind of gangstery things happened, and there was a junkie. And
that junkie was the best part of the movie.
Junkie was the best part.
Was that the punk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was a perfect example of the Japanese don't really understand drugs, do they?
No.
I like the scene with the pusher on the street and the woman is going, "Do you have any heroin?"
Yeah, no, it
please?"
was just like it was like out of a Japanese textbook of like
right.
one heroin, please.
Yeah. This is the one I came to see because it's not available in any other shape or form at the moment. I mean, you only saw half of it, but that was Smedlington.
The best thing about it is I missed the first half.
Ikejima Yutaka was in it.
Why did you want to? Because it was quite rapey, or?
I do like a bit of rapey stuff.
So that was the reason why you wanted to watch it? No.
I wanted to see it specifically just because it was... I kind of found it interesting. I like that kind of crossover thing where you have like there's this Hong Kong actress in this Japanese movie the other way, and I couldn't see it on DVD or anything, so because it's a long trek down here to Yokohama. So yeah, so I don't have much to say about that. You?
Well, what I thought was that it's a dirty movie, but it has more violence and death and killing and action, that kind of like violence action, than
sexy action.
And
right.
at that point, you're just a movie. Especially because there's nothing explicit.
The guy took 3 bullets.
Yeah.
Before he would. Well, he didn't even die.
Yeah. At that point, you're just a movie where you can see some tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't all that, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, we've sat through much worse.
For sure.
Yeah, slugs and stuff.
Yeah. So on to our second film, which is a much more recent one from 2014, and this was Warui Onna, or I guess Bad Woman.
Warui Eiga.
Yes. Starring former porn star Meguri, and from what I could tell, it was set. I noticed at the beginning it was set in 2000X, which is one of those strange, either don't bother or say that year.
It felt. I actually thought it was an older movie than when you.
Right.
2000, was it 14 or something? 2015.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like the style and whatever. It felt like it was a lot older. So.
Right.
Maybe it was just the quality of it or something.
Yeah. Although to be fair, like you were saying, Brian, we haven't had I do apologize. Brahe. Who's this Brahe guy?
Well, the gig's up. Just continue on with it.
You had one job, eh?
But yeah, like you were saying, it seemed like it could potentially be a true crime case based on a true crime, right? Because otherwise it was very unimaginative and boring.
Yeah, exactly. And especially it ended with some text appearing on screen basically describing the
Spoiler, ends with text. You just ruined it.
I'm sorry. I saved anyone.
So this one's
At least an hour and a bit.
about an old fella who lives out in this rural place, and he has a kind of younger wife with big knockers.
Well done on that, by the way.
Yeah. Good for you. And yeah, whenever he's not around, he's either fucking one of the local farmers or the postman. She is. Yeah. That would be a very different film. And she came home.
That was next door.
Yes. Yeah.
That would have been a good movie.
Yeah. So after a while, he decides to lock her in the storage shed when he goes out. But some kind of escaped convict or runaway criminal or something ends up getting inside the shed.
Yes.
And then they kind of form a bit of a relationship, even though she's a warui onna and she's a bit of a sadist, and she likes pouring like acid on his that woman who's sitting not too far away from us just gave me a dodgy look because I shouted warui onna at a little bit. Probably shouldn't do that again, or definitely do it again. I can't decide. Yeah, and then they end up killing the husband. This was fucking boring, this film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they tried killing him, drowning him in the bathtub, but that he didn't die from that,
and he came back to life. Yeah, but then they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, I forgot all about it until you explained it there.
Right. Well, there was
more. I was more interested in what was going on within the cinema rather than.
There was a lot of action going on. I think this was peak action during this film. Maybe because the film was so boring. Maybe that's how it works. This was boring. Let's jerk each other off. I mean, that's certainly what we did, isn't it, fellas?
Yes. That's another thing, like. Well, with the first
jerking each other
really?
off.
No.
What's that all about? Observational comedy.
With both of these films, at least the first two films, they're really hard to jack off to because it's just.
You're saying the third one was somewhat easier to jack off to?
No, but we'll get to that.
Right. Okay.
But hard movies to jack off to if you're like trying to do that, because unless you skip everything unless the
I don't get. And to be honest, what's really fascinating to me about these films is that there's very few places in the world where you can get, because you can get proper hardcore porn, fucking loads of it in Japan, probably more than anywhere else, right? But what fascinates me is that there's still a market for this kind of thing, which you don't really get so much anyway, especially to see it in a theatre.
Not still being produced as well.
Yeah. So it's one of the things that's interesting about them, or so I think that's it for Warui Onna, right? That's the last. Oh, she's not taking the bait.
No. I don't know what she's got in her head.
No.
It's our cat.
Warui Bushi. So anyway, enough of abusing the elderly in the park.
Is there ever enough of that?
And on to our third choice. I have no idea what the sound quality is like. By the way.
It's terrible.
Yeah, no doubt. The third title, it was a Wakazuma Triangle Gyuto Shimeru, which young wife triangle, and then either shut tight or tighten up, which is quite promising.
Yeah.
When I saw this title before seeing the film, I thought young wife's triangle. I thought it was going to be like a drama about like a newlywed couple, and the woman's vagina was like too tight, and it was
that's a bit too much.
That's
for
a lot.
Japanese.
That's a lot to take in from a title.
Yes,
It's a little bit of wishful thinking.
Maybe it says more about me than the.
Yeah.
Anyway, and this was a brand new film out this year. Directed by Daisuke Yamanochi, who was quite a prolific, but probably most well known outside of Japan for early cult films he made, like Muzan-e and Red Room and stuff like that, which were like a mixture of sex and really disgusting gore, and a lot of these movies became cult items with sickos abroad, myself included. Well, actually, Red Room, Muzan-e is kind of interesting. And then he also made a film which I've never seen, but it's got a great title, Sadistic Yoga.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That does spur the curiosity.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I have a copy if you're interested. I'll let you know.
So you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet,
Okay.
no. I've got other films with even better titles.
Wow, that's the weekend sorted.
And this one starring 3 porn veterans, Ayumi Kimino, Yukine Sakuragi and Kyoko Maki. And this one was a bit of a head scratcher, wasn't it, lads?
It was good.
You were like, yeah.
Well, at least,
I like this one.
well, at least out of the 3 films, this was the one where we were actually genuinely trying to follow what was going on.
Because there was nothing else going on.
I mean, the first 2 films there was nothing going on, but we didn't give a shit.
Well, there was
But this one at least was just...
There was one point when I looked over at you, and then I didn't look over at me because that's impossible. But basically, the point is we were all deeply concentrating on the screen.
Because we were trying to work out what was going on.
Well, no, but the scene was when Kimino Ayumi was going down on her husband, which was represented by
that's...
a fish sausage sticking out of his crotch.
Is it a fish sausage?
I think those pink ones, they're made from fish.
Okay.
Yeah. Which came as
Yeah,
they'd
that
obviously
was
gone
the
to the
bizarre,
trouble
yeah.
of creating
Bizarre
a practical effect where the fish sausage, that when he exclaimed "Iku," it actually did come into her mouth.
Yeah.
Copious amounts of milk or something. Yeah, I was quite impressed with that.
That was,
And we were all we were all like really watching, because Kimi Ayumi is quite cute, and she's going down on the sausage like it's a cock. So
the husband was trying to get out the door to go to work.
yeah, poor fella.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, worth losing a job over. I think we'd all agree. Especially, he's found a wife who doesn't mind that his cock's a fish sausage. Yeah, so what's interesting about this as well is, because I've seen other kind of weird movies where they've used something else instead of a cock, like an eggplant or a carrot or some shit like that. And there's a few, but it's always been like an obvious kind of, okay, we're just using this as stand-in because we don't have to mosaic it and they're licking and everything. But this time it was strange because it didn't feel just as if it was, because straight away after that she goes and finds another fish sausage and carves it into a more cock-like shape, like a dildo, and then she's enjoying sucking that and getting herself off on it. And
it was actually a
And
plot
then that's when
element.
that weird guy appears.
Yeah, so
who
then
I couldn't understand.
Yeah, this weird guy turns up and lets himself into the house, rather than say, "What the fuck are you doing in my house?" and I'm going to call the police.
Well, he has a key to the house.
Yeah, but still, that does. Oh, you got a key to the house? Then I don't mind you're in. No, what I mean is, at first, if you were lying at home in bed on your horrible tie-dye spread sofa cover, and then
What do you mean? I've got that.
and then there's some bearded fellow looming over you going, "Hello." You're not going to wait for him to say, no, it's fine. I have the key, right? You're going to try and get away or something. But anyway, then things start getting weird, because then the bearded guy claims, "I have a photo of you and your husband that I took a year before you were married," right? Something like that.
Yes.
And
A year ago from that point.
Right.
They were already married then.
Oh, okay. And shows him the photo, and in the photo, it's the husband, and she is actually a different actress. She is Kyoko Maki at this point. And then...
No, the original photo that's on their dresser is that bearded guy and
Oh, that's right.
wife.
The bearded guy and the wife.
Yeah.
Oh no, bearded guy and
A different
woman.
The second woman,
the
wasn't it?
first time it was the bearded guy and the woman who wasn't her. It was Maki, not Ayumi. So, and then after they started getting it on, and then she turned into the other woman. Then the picture turned into the husband.
Yeah.
Plus,
The
But originally it
second
was the bearded her.
But
yeah.
we don't know his reasoning, because he comes back and he brings the omiyage,
Yes,
the
yes.
present and stuff.
Yes.
And
No, we don't really know.
he has a key to the house, and
And then the
He,
husband.
he has a key to the house that she gave to him, ostensibly. That's what
Right,
he says.
right.
okay.
And then the husband's away shagging Yukine Sakuragi, I guess, in the Love Hotel or something. And then when he comes home, the wife, who is now Kyokomaki, asks him, "Do I look different?" And he says no. And then they come at it, and then it kind of gets all circular, and it happens again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone switches identities again, and then some kind of private detective character or something like that turns up at some point.
Yeah, I think that's just that one scene where
Yeah, there's a really
She's-
weird scene, isn't there?
she's changed back into the original one.
Yes, but then the other
Cool.
two girls she turned into are in a coffee shop she's at, filleting this hot dog.
Yeah.
She has a nice
The
looking
bearded
hot
guy
dog
is
recipe actually.
Is the owner of the cafe.
Yeah, like almost like the devil or something, like
Yeah.
chuckling in the background.
Yeah.
And there's something to do with Matrushka dolls. It's very confusing.
It's very odd. And then the husband comes back from
Quantum filth.
Quantum filth. That was
Yeah.
what you wrote down. Then the husband comes back, and there's this short scene of what looks like a horror movie.
Yes, it did. Yeah, where he comes home in the middle of the night and there's no one there.
He
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
turn on the light for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
The three wives
Yeah.
are there.
Well, to
They
be
all
honest-
appear in different.
Yeah.
This man clearly has never come back to his own house before in his life because he
No,
doesn't know how to do it.
exactly.
He rings the bell instead of just opening the door,
3 times, and he's
Yeah.
really surprised, like when nothing happens.
and then looks at the ping pong thing as if there's anything to see. Like really staring at it. Anyway, nitpicking. It's just a strange movie in general, really. Yeah, and then he goes in the house, and then sitting in the dark, there's one chick, and then the other one is sitting
It's
there.
behind him.
Yeah. And then she turns out, hey, I'm actually home, and he
Turns on the
taps
light.
her head and treats her like a retard, like he normally does. Yeah,
And they have sex again,
Yeah.
and then she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, she's pregnant, and that, at the very beginning of the film, that she's checking. That's the first thing we see, right? She's checking her pregnancy kit.
Yeah.
Because the reaction is, you don't know if she is or isn't, but
Yeah.
I presume.
From context later on, I guess,
Yeah,
like she's
presume-
not pregnant,
yeah.
but they're trying.
Yeah, so who the fuck knows? I mean, it's either beyond our ken, which could be because we are watching it in a second language,
Yeah.
or it's
We're
just
overthinking it.
yes, and they just made a kind of vaguely sexy film with 3 porn stars who would make people come in, and they were like, should we make a screwy, fucked up plot so it looks clever? Yeah, let's do that.
But the most notable thing about the film was
Ah,
the cinema was actually quite busy early doors,
yeah.
but halfway through that film, we were pretty much the only
Yeah.
people left.
When the cinema finished for the evening, because this one down here closes quite early as well.
Yeah.
We were done at 9, whereas the one usually work. Oh, this one's open all night on the weekends, but yeah, it felt like we were let out in the middle of the night, and it felt like 2 in
Yeah.
the morning or
Yeah.
something. And there were all the other pervs that fucked off, and it was just
Yeah.
us 3, and we
Yeah.
felt like, we looked like the worst of the lot, staggering out. Like everyone else had gone home, go home lads, but we're riding it into the wee hours.
I think everyone else had already came at that point.
Several times, I think some of them. That
I think
little
so.
fucker who went round the back of
Yeah.
people and rubbed their breasts. He was having a whale. I reckon he got his rocks off at least 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah.
And that weird fella with the long hair wig who was down a couple of seats from us.
Yeah.
She was fucking really enjoying us watching her going down on old.
Well,
Men.
I wouldn't say the privilege, but watching watching him giving the guy with the teeth the hand job.
Yeah. I think
smiling and
my favourite bit was when she was licking the guy's head if he rose down from us. Just like licking every part of his head and then looking over at us and sticking her tongue out and like a fucking vampire or something. That was
tongue as well.
Yeah, that was disturbing and kind of exciting. Not sexually exciting, just exciting as in terms of what the fuck is happening right now.
There's nought queerer than folk.
No. So there we go. This has been Clive and Chums, Hinodecho edition. Thank you, Bry. Thank you, Smedlington Smythe III. And if that's all, we forgot. Second film, best thing, Eric Satie on the soundtrack.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gnossian number 1.
There we go. Done.